It's a sweltering day in 1777 in the middle of the Revolutionary War. Alexander Hamilton, barely in his 20s, rides furiously through the chaos of battle, clutching urgent orders for General Washington. The stakes, the fate of a fragile new nation. But here's the kicker: Hamilton wasn't born into power. An illegitimate orphan from the Caribbean, his rise is nothing short of astonishing. How did this scrappy outsider become the architect of America's financial future? Let's crack open his story. Hamilton's origin story is wild. Picture a frail boy on a tiny island who will soon challenge the world's greatest powers. But his start was nothing you'd expect. Born out of wedlock on the bitterly poor Caribbean island of Nevis, Hamilton's fragile childhood was jolted when his father vanished and his mother died. Left destitute, a local merchant recognized the boy's fire and funded his move to New York, setting a remarkable journey in motion. Hamilton devoured books like a man starving for knowledge: history, law, philosophy, teaching himself what no school offered. Think of it as a mental gym where each chapter was a weight lifted, building the strength he'd need to fight for an entire nation's future. Landing in New York, the raw immigrant desperately fought for respect, eventually becoming George Washington's indispensable aide-de-camp. That tiny island orphan was no longer just surviving. He was steering the revolution's very course, earning Washington's trust and a permanent place in history. Hamilton didn't just want freedom from Britain, he dreamed of a thriving, modern republic. But how do you build a country's economy from scratch while tensions run high? In 1791, Hamilton pushed through the creation of the Bank of the United States, a bold experiment resembling a company more than a government entity. Like starting a business with public trust as its stock, it became the backbone of American economic stability and growth. Hamilton didn't just fight battles with muskets, he shattered intellectual walls with pen and paper. Alongside Madison and Jay, he wrote the Federalist Papers, a fierce yet elegant campaign persuading Americans to ratify the Constitution. Political persuasion inked in real sweat and genius. Imagine managing a teenager's wild credit card debts, but for an entire country. Hamilton convinced states to accept the federal government's plan to take on war debts, uniting them financially. This gamble transformed shaky post-war chaos into the solid foundation of the U.S. as a credible global player. If Hamilton's life was a storybook success, it also had darker chapters: rivalry, scandal, and a legendary fatal duel. Let's dive into the man behind the myth, the flaws that shaped his legend. The battle between Hamilton and Jefferson wasn't just political, it was personal and profound. Jefferson championed agrarian democracy, while Hamilton believed in a strong central government and industry. Their conflict shaped the country's party system and defined American politics' first great divide. Hamilton's fiery ambition sometimes cooked up enemies. When his secret affair with Maria Reynolds became public, it sparked America's first major political sex scandal. Yet true to form, Hamilton confessed openly, choosing transparency over silence, a bold and risky gamble. The duel with Aaron Burr in 1804 is iconic, the fatal pistol shot ending Hamilton's life at age 47. But beyond the headline, this was the death of an idealist who'd sacrificed everything for a vision. America lost its boldest architect, yet his ideas would echo in every Federal Reserve note ever printed. Back to that frantic ride in 1777, Hamilton's story is one of relentless strife, sharp intellect, and brash courage. His life reminds you that greatness isn't a straight path but a messy climb filled with fire and fallout. So next time you face doubt, try this: embrace your outsider status. It might just be your biggest asset. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.